And princess stuff.
Playing games in my head.
Who gave
I think it'll be
us,
brief.
who gave it?
So
Sorry.
We're ready?
Thank you, everyone, and welcome to our city council meeting. Today is Tuesday, December 7th. It is 4:30 p.m. I will call this meeting to order. We will begin our meeting with our invocation that will be conducted by Council Member Mr. Ron Berg, and then followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by Council Member Mrs. Sandra Bowen.
Please stand for as in prayer. Our gracious and mighty Heavenly Father, it was with uplifted hearts that we come before you. We are into the Advent season as we approach Christmas, when God becomes man. Let us reflect on receiving the gifts that the Magi not only brought, but the spirit of those gifts. Let us be touched by the spirit and gifts of joy, of love, of unity, a belief in a greater power, in faith. Let us recognize the gifts, and let us live those gifts, and let us serve you with wisdom and discernment and internal peace. We ask these things in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
Please face our U.S. flag and put your right hand on your heart and repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, and y'all forgive me, this is our first use of our new format for our agenda, so. Okay, so we'll move on to item number 3, and it's roll call and certification of a quorum. So as I call your name, if you could please just answer with present or here. Mr. P. Chris?
Present.
Mr. Moli?
Present.
Sorry. Mr. Rondar
Present.
and Mrs. Sandra Bowen.
Present.
Okay, so we can make note that we do have quorum. We'll move on to agenda item number 4, public comments, citizen comments, and public announcements. And I do believe we have. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, it was, okay, and I do believe we have a citizen comment. We have Mrs. Belinda Silva. If you can.
Can you hear me this time?
Yes,
Can
ma'am.
you-
And
okay.
if you could just give us your name and address.
My name is Belinda Silva, and my address is 904 Lewis Street.
Okay, thank you.
I'm speaking because I didn't get to finish my 3 minutes last time. There was some kind of confusion on our part. So thank you so much to the City of Alice for adopting the Hot Funds guidelines, and also to the success of the city parade. It was indeed magical. 2 contracts have twice not been renewed efficiently or effectively by the due date, and both pertain to the auditorium. The city manager is also the same person who initiated an agenda item that would silence the mayor on April the 14th of 2016. I remember being in attendance at all of those city council meetings that had led up to that, because they pertain to the auditorium, and how the lack of accountability with the disbursement of hot funds had created problems for our city. The city manager was a councilman back then and had extreme personality conflicts with the mayor. It seems the ordinance was not created in a unity, but rather for other intended reasons. Now, as a city manager, it became a recycled ordinance, and not one single word was changed. It now allows, again, for the council to silence another mayor, yet again. A current councilwoman stated that this ordinance was being brought forward as a sign of unity. Open records prove that our mayor had sent out numerous emails which were all ignored by all council people except Councilman Chris. There was not even as much as a response as to attending the State of the City event, COVID memorial, etc. It seems any communication done was sent to the deputy clerk instead. Some select council members have been on social media and have not been respectful at all. One of you recently posted and referred to belonging to a specific innocent organization and posted a member of the community who just happens to be a very close relative of mine, again, who was posted on social media. This post is personal. The implementation of this statute and the ordinance that you recycled is simply meant to quiet and silence the minority, which allows others to be able to form a clique and can also be viewed as some type of suppression or bullying. You can speak of unity, fairness, respect, love of God, and civic duties when you don't exercise and model these morals yourself on social media and the job that you were elected to do, then you are falling short. How can our children learn civic duties, respect, or just simply love one another when their leaders don't exercise that simple concept on social media? Our citizens ask that you be role models and pillars of strength for our children. We ask that you respectfully give our mayor her voice back and bring this agenda item to be rescinded as showing a true sign of unity. Alice is buena gente, and we deserve to have all voices heard. We deserve our children to know that voices come together collaboratively to discuss, to brainstorm, and to unite. That is what a community is really about. We have before collected over 2,000 signatures trying to bring the auditorium agenda item before, and it did not make the agenda. One of you said that we could bring a agenda item. We're asking that you bring that and rescind this agenda item. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't see any other citizen comments. We will move on to our public announcements. Mr. Peters?
This, just real quick, just wanted to say to the citizens of Alice and those out there listening, staff and everybody, we want to thank y'all for a year's worth of hard work. To the citizens out there, wish all of y'all a Happy New Year and Merry Christmas. Actually, the other way around is the way it's actually going to come around, but you know what I mean. Just be safe in your travels this season, and embrace the ones you have, and enjoy your time with the people that you get to spend it with. Reach out to those that aren't around you, and remember the reason for the season. And Merry Christmas. That's it.
Mr.
I
Moon?
just kind of on the same lines, just happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and stay safe out there. That's all.
Thank you. Mr. Rumberg?
Just a Merry, blessed Christmas to you all.
Okay, Mrs. Palmer?
Real quick, we did have an awesome parade. It was beautiful. I know our community really needed this at this time of the year, this time in our lives. Thanks to the City of Alice and all their hard work, and the Christmas Committee, the Alice Echo-News Journal for taking the lead on it. And it was an all-around productive, beautiful, lighted Christmas parade. We can all agree on that. It was just great. Yes, I also would like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and may we all continue to be blessed, and always remember to share kindness, because there's people out there that don't have family, and they need to know that you care at this time of the year especially. So share the love. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. I also would like to just say a few things, and I wanted to thank the Christmas Parade Committee and all the participants, and then all the numerous volunteers, because it took a collaborative effort to make that a success, and it was a wonderful event. There were a lot of, I was very pleased to see the children playing at Health Park. Thank you, Mr. Esparza, for following what council had initiated in reference to Health Park and making it functional and ready for the children. It was wonderful to see them playing out there. And then also just wanted to thank again AEP for funding that beautiful Christmas tree. We have a 20-foot Christmas tree there at the Health Park. It's our first time, I don't know in how long, we have a beautiful Christmas tree. So if you haven't gone out, go out there, take your children, take some photos out there. That's what it's for. It's our community Christmas tree. So thank you to AEP again, Mr. Patrick King, for sponsoring that and funding that Christmas tree, and Mr. Esparza for bringing that forth and initiating those talks. Thank you. And then I also, I'm sorry, I wrote down some stuff. Just on Friday, our downtown merchants are having a Winter Wonderland event downtown. If you have a chance, they've decorated their storefronts beautifully. City has tried to put some lights out, so we're making an effort to make an attraction with our tree, with the lights and the merchants downtown. So they'll have an event from 4 to 7. It's a Winter Wonderland event, so come out and visit our downtown and shop local. I also wanted to thank our Christian Spawn Hospital. They invited myself and other leaders within the community. They were having interviews to get accreditation by the Joint Commission. It's an important accreditation to the hospital when you receive that. So they invited us, and they invited me to the celebration because they were actually accredited. So that's an awesome thing. Our own hospital within our community has this prestigious accreditation. So I would like to thank them for including us in that, and thank you for what y'all do and all your hard work. Let's see. And I think that's about it, but I do want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, because I don't think we're going to see y'all before then. I hope we do, but just want to wish everyone out there, and just keep in mind, visit that neighbor, check in on that neighbor, and y'all stay safe. I'm very proud of our community, our city, and all the events that are occurring, and what we're starting to see, the leadership, the collaboration between different entities. So it's wonderful. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to the city employees for all their hard work. Nellie and Odie, I know sometimes y'all are running everywhere because we're all, what about this? What about that? So thank y'all for what you do. Thank you, Michael. And thank you, Michael, for letting us do that. But I'm very proud of our city. Thank y'all, and thank you to our community for making it a success. And I look forward to our new year, and many blessings to everyone. So, thank y'all. Okay. And we will move on to 5 presentations. 5.1, presentation regarding additions to Chapter 78, Utilities in the Code of Ordinance, City of Alice, Texas, and additions to the City of Alice fee schedule.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. As the agenda stated, myself, Demetrio Duarte, Barbara Reeves, and Gabriel, I'm sorry, Gabriel, your last name gives me trouble. But the 4 of us, we're going to be reviewing Chapter 78, Utilities in the Code of Ordinances, specifically Article 3, Wastewater System, and Appendix C, Fee Schedule. After looking at it, I found that there was some things that, some additions that needed to be added, definitions, classifications, and clarifications within it. But the 4 of us are going to be meeting. We already had one meeting, which kind of erupted into, okay, we found out how much we needed to do. And so it made it a little more involved. So the 4 of us are going to be meeting probably once a week until we can work our way through it. And that's pretty much all I have right now. But as we move through it, and then we'll have something to present at that point when we get through it and get finished. So.
And, Mayor and Council, so we know that we need to make some updates to the fee schedule for wastewater, and we're looking at some different types of unconventional treated wastewater to come in, and so City Attorney was involved also on how do we move forward on this, and we just wanted to give you guys an update that we're working on a situation to try to update some of the schedules. There's some additional testing that we're doing. The fee schedule's old, and this is one of the ones that's kind of hitting us right now that we need to look at. And so there's some additional testing that we do with certain types of unconditional waste that we want to take in. We want to include that on the fee schedule. So there's a lot of things that are happening. We were hoping to try to have an action item here, but as we got more into it, it became a bigger project, and so involving more people. And so we wanted to kind of let you know that we're looking at this particular item on the fee schedule to bring back for you guys. I think we'll be able to get it done by the January meeting.
Yeah.
But it does involve, our staff and also our city attorney, pretty in hand on that, on those meetings as well. So just an update that we're working on that, and it's going to be brought back to you guys.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, so we'll move on to number 6. Number 6 is consent agenda. All consent agenda items are considered to be routine by the city council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and voted on separately. I'm going to go ahead and open each one up. 6.1, discuss, consider, and act upon approval of City Council minutes for October 19, 2021, and City Council minutes for the November 16, 2021. Discuss, consider, and act upon of 2022 holiday calendar for the City of Alice. 6.3, discuss, consider, and act upon adoption of House Bill 2073 paid quarantine policy. That's House Bill 2073 paid quarantine policy. 6.4 is discuss, consider, and act upon awarding the contract for the purchasing of chemicals for the water and wastewater treatment plants calendar year 2022. And those are the items under consent agenda. Council, if anyone has anything they'd like to move out of consent agenda for discussion, or if they'd like to proceed, I'll hear you right now in reference to those items.
I'd like to make a motion for consent agenda.
Okay, so there was no question, okay.
Second.
Okay, so we have a first and a second to accept the consent agenda as presented and read. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay, motion passes. Agenda item number 7, individual consideration. 7.1, discuss, consider, and act upon a resolution of the City Council of the City of Alice, Texas, authorizing budget allocation of hotel occupancy tax hot funds from the hotel tax reserve for permissible uses to the Tejano Roots Hall of Fame Museum for their January 7th and January 8th, 2022 kickoff dance and induction ceremony. Do we have any questions, council, in reference to this agenda item?
And I think, do we have some representatives from the Tejano Roots?
They would like to speak? Okay.
Mayor, City Council, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ruben Lopez. I'm with Tejano Roots Hall of Fame Museum. I am the president and CEO of Tejano Roots. I've been with the organization about 13 years, and it's been a great ride. Something that I love to do every year, and of course, 2 projects that we do. We're here to ask for your help, of course, to also apply, which you applied already, and also you can help us out and vote on obtaining some hot funds and, of course, heads and beds. And we have a great turnout right now. I'd like to introduce also in just a bit Joe Lozano and, of course, Mr. Noe Lerma, part of my board of directors. They're going to explain a little bit what's going to happen, and we're working closely with the hotels, and we're very excited to bring the event back after the COVID. It was a rough year, especially for myself. But I'm happy that we can do this, and of course, we have to be safe again still. And we want the citizens of Alice to support us, and I can see it already. It's going to be a great 2 days, possibly 3 days event, and we definitely could use the help of the city. So next, I'd like to introduce Mr. Noe Lerma. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mayor, City Council. Once again, we come to ask for help, for your support. We're having this induction ceremony coming up in January, and we do need the help. It's like Ruben was saying, it's been a rough year, a year and a half or two for everybody, but we need to pick up ourselves again and continue doing this for Alice, Texas. This year, we've been communicating with a lot of people, magazine people that are coming, photographers, TV stations, TV interviews, and so many people that come to these events from all over, not only Texas, but also from California, Chicago, Kansas, and other states as well. And we wanna present a good show for everybody so they can keep coming. They'll be spending a lot of money here in Alice, Texas, hotels, stores, gas, whatever they need. So we have to support this this event that we're having, because it brings a lot of revenue to the city of Alice, Texas. And we're going to have a special TV station that's coming out of Tucson, Arizona. It's very famous. It's called Azteca TV Network, and it includes in Colorado, California, and Mexico, and a lot of other states that they're going to be here showing everybody about what Alice, Texas is about. So in support, please give us whatever you can. We need it. Like we said, we're trying to pick ourselves back up. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
How are my good city fathers doing this? I hope you all are happy, and we've been successful in so many projects in the city of Alice, and I'm proud of it, and I'm proud of what you do. And we're going to continue being proud of Alice. The 100 Roots Hall of Fame is going to celebrate the 21st anniversary. We promote our heritage, our music, our food. I know that Alice has been the cradle of Tejano music for many, many years, and we want to continue doing it. And with your help, I'm sure that we can make it a bigger and better year. Thank you so much.
Thank you, gentlemen. Again, we have so many people coming. We're very excited, hoping it was this weekend. We have so many people coming from all the United States, and especially the TV, and it's been big since so many years back, but now everybody wants to be a part of this thing. My phones don't stop ringing late at night, but we have to do this to acknowledge our musicians that have been playing for 15 or plus. We've had from younger to older age, 80-something years old, first award, and this is the award that's recognized by the state of Texas. So I believe we met from the application. We turned in the budget. We are going to be advertising radio here in San Antonio, and of course all the internets are ready to put the word out. We have a great lineup for Friday, and of course Saturday. I invite all of y'all to be our guests, and if you can be attended, please let me know. We'll love to see our city council be there, and welcome everybody to City Map, because this year I believe is going to be one of the big ones, because we have so many people coming from all the state, and we want to make sure that they know that the city of Alice supports Tejano Roots and helps in any way they can. And of course, this project that we do also helps us fund our next project, which is our Cinco de Mayo, which is held right outside, and it's something beautiful that we've done for so many years, and it's something that you see people just going across the street and coming to this or stopping by. I've seen so many people that pass through Alice and they see the festival and they stop, and I can tell who's who, and I ask them where they're from, and they'll say, we're just passing by, going over Laredo, but we're going to decide here to stay here. And again, I want to thank each one of y'all for considering to bring the hot funds back. It does help. It's a lot of work. The help that y'all going to help us is a partial of our budget. And so we have to raise our money, and we raise by doing certain things, and we'll be having raffles and, you know, setting tables, things like that to meet our budget. Because if not, it can go south, and we need operation money for the museum and things that we do privately when we lose one of our musicians, to make sure that we send something to the family, and of course, to move on. So again, from part of the Hunter Roots, myself, Ruben Lopez, President CEO, please help us to continue this great tradition. Thank you.
Thank you. Council, any questions? Mr. Chris?
No, I was going through the application, and I know, I guess, for the most part, I wanted to get with you after to go through it and see if there's things that need to be adjusted.
Okay.
Appreciate you getting that and putting it together for us. The one thing that I will say is, you know, I know it's a lot of work. You put it in, you got this together. I know your board and y'all met to do everything. The one thing that we'll be going through is, you know, your hotel says you're showing 60. I think you're going to do more than that. This event always does. So thank you for keeping it realistic and not just blowing that number up. But for the most part, thank you for getting this thing back together again, and I'm happy that we as a council could do something to try to help organizations like yourself out.
I also wanted to add, we are going to be having a form made. I've talked to the hotels and told them, hey guys, we need some index to tell, and they told me, well, we'll see what we can do. So we're not going to rely on them because they get busy, things like that. So we're going to have a form on Friday and Saturday as they come in. Your name, Robert Molina, where you coming from, Houston, where you staying from, the 3 different hotels, and we'll be turning that in. And 60 hotel we'll have more on that because we have a lot of people coming in. That's just something so we can show you that we do put heads in beds, and we can justify, and then of course y'all can call and verify. But you'll be able to see that there won't be no hotels that, I mean, every year I'm trying to get a room here, cancellation, and we include all of them that we have, all 3 on the east side and then the west side. So we want to make sure all hotels are being part of our where to stay.
Just so you know, there is a form that we created as well that we can get to you as a template. You don't have to use it, but you can use it also so that you don't have to recreate it if you don't need to.
Okay.
But we'll make sure we get that to you. If I have to, I can get a printed copy to you, or
Appreciate it.
Probably the best way to get it actually would be in email, so
Yeah.
you can add your event and update it the way you need to.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
Mr. Molina?
No, I just want to thank them for their effort. I know it's a lot of work putting these things together, and they've been doing it a long time. I believe, this is your 23rd annual?
21st.
21st, okay. That's a long haul, you know, and to put us on the map because of that, you know, I mean, that's a lot of the heritage in this town, and kind of the roots that run deep. And, you know, it takes a lot for people to actually go out there and do it, whether you're getting assistance or not, you know, but I'm glad we're able to bring this forward again and help you guys keep this tradition going.
Thank you.
Mr. Burke?
Thank you and the board for responding to our process and the work you put into it, and wishing you every bit of success with your programs.
Thank you, sir.
Mrs. Bowen?
Yes, I have attended your event in the past, and I really enjoyed it. And I did see a variety of people. I met a lot of people from other places too, so I can vouch for that. It's just a wonderful all-around event. Of course, Tejano Roots goes deep in my family as well, as you know. And so I thank you very much for you and your board and all the volunteers that put the hard work and sweat and tears into making sure that this happens. You know, I know your mom was very involved in this, and I just know that you honor her all the time, and I'm so glad that you are a really good son to her to do that. So, but yeah, all in all, thank you so much for putting this on. Appreciate it. Thank you, Mayor.
Yes. And thank you for bringing forth this. And one thing I just wanted to ask, I know some of the requirements is the branding of the city, so I wanted to know, y'all have that type of thing too?
We will get with the city. We have a magazine, and we definitely want to thank you, and we will put a page or 2. And just let me know who I can work with to put something together, and we'll definitely put that. Again, we really work very hard. It's not just myself, I'm just the face of the museum, but you're right, it takes a lot of people behind the scenes, and without them, we wouldn't be successful.
Thank you. Okay, so council, at this time, I'll entertain a motion.
Mayor, I make a motion that we allocate, make a budget allocation of $5,000 to the Tejano routes, utilizing the exception for the 50% upfront and then 50% on the reimbursement basis.
Second.
Okay, we have a first and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay, motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
We'll see
very
you.
much. Okay.
That's it.
And then our next item is 7.2. Conduct a public hearing to discuss, consider, and act upon a contract with Leinbarger, Goggin, Blair, and Samson LLP for the collection of delinquent special assessment accounts, liens, and discuss, consider, and act upon approval of document titled Action Approving Contract with Leinbarger, and I hope I'm saying that right, Goggin and Blair and Samson LLP. Okay?
Mayor, we have representatives from Leinbarger, Goggin, Blair, and Samson here
Okay.
to talk about this item, but, and before you open up the public hearing, also wanted to kind of go a little bit over what brought this forward, is that we mow about 70 or so properties regularly, and some of those properties have delinquent taxes. Now, we're trying to figure out a way to get out of the mowing business, so some of these properties that we're just taking care of, we're not getting reimbursed for. There's times when a tax foreclosure happens, but our mowing liens not getting reimbursed. Now, if you've seen these tax foreclosures, and they come before us, and the amount of the bid is actually most of the time less than the taxes owed. So some of those we wouldn't get reimbursed anyway, but a few of those are going to be more than the amount is owed. Now, those haven't been included. They were at one time a long time ago, and somewhere along the way, they stopped being included. I'm talking about maybe, 8 to 10 years ago or something. More than 10 years ago. So there's some money that we've been missing from collections. And so we started the process of trying to figure out how do we get these collected. Not all of them can, but some of them can, so we worked on that. Then we also try to figure out what's happening here. We're mowing these properties over and over and over. They're delinquent on their taxes, but the Leinbarger Group is the tax collections for us through Jim Mills County, the appraisal district. And the business model that they have is top dollar down, which kind of works for everybody, because you want to collect those properties or that more taxes are owed on. But some of them, on our part, the city, we're mowing these, and they may be delinquent in the $1,000 or $1,500, so they're on the bottom of the list. But we're mowing them regularly, over and over and over, so we're incurring more cost. The other entities aren't. So for us, we had a discussion on that about a month and a half ago, is we'd like to move, let's cross-reference the properties that we're looking at, that we're mowing with delinquent taxes, and move those up on the list, because we need to get them off our mowing list. That's a burden on us, and we're just over and over and over doing this. So that's something that they're working on, and we've sent them all this. In the meantime, we talked about, we want to get our delinquent mowing liens collected as well. So this is what this is bringing forward. They collect our delinquent taxes through the appraisal district and the agreement they have with them, but this is separate. And so that prompted us to talk about it. Let's get an agreement together, bring it forward, and, here's where we are. I'll let them.
Yes, sir.
Give a presentation.
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Robert Cuevas. I'm the office manager for Leinbarger, Goggin, Blair, and Samson out of Corpus Christi. We have Joanne Bettis. She's here, and she is in charge of our Alice office. The attorney that handles this particular account is unable to make this meeting. He had surgery about 3 weeks ago, and he's going to be out of commission until about January. But he did meet with Mr. Esparza and Mr. Lemon at that meeting he referenced earlier. I just want to go through this just briefly and then answer any questions. We, like Mr. Sparza said, we do collect delinquent taxes for the city of Alice, Jim Wells County, Alice ISD. We do that through different methods. Mailings, we conduct 8 mailings a year. We file lawsuits, we conduct tax sales, and we do the resales, which the council will consider and then accept. What this will do, this contract will do, will allow us to now bring in those special assessments, paving, demo, cleanup liens into our lawsuits. And then we will then be able to collect those and include those in our judgments and then our tax sales. So we will include that as an opening bid when we sell a piece of property. And then anytime we get someone calling, we also can bring that account up and see, okay, there's delinquent taxes and there's special assessments owed to the city of Alice. And then we can direct those taxpayers to you to get those paid. Joanne and Tamara and Dee will do that daily. So once if the contract's approved today, then we can start the process of loading the data, all the special assessments that have been filed and that are now existing, that are delinquent, into our database, and then we can start the process of going forward and collecting those for you. Now, the fee is a 20% fee. It's a pass-through fee. The city of Alice will not pay us anything. It's an add-on fee the delinquent taxpayer will pay, and that's the standard fee for for special assessments. I can tell you we do this for the city of Kingsville, which I handle. I've been doing it. We did this. They awarded the contract to us in 2014. We've been doing it for the city of Corpus Christi for a long time. We do it for the city of Ingleside. There's a little bump there because a little delay there because when Hurricane Harvey hit, they kind of put that on the back burner. But we still do that for the city of Ingleside when we can, because they're in recovery mode for a couple of years, which is understandable. But those are the entities we do this for. So that's generally how it works, and we're more than willing to do that for you if you agree to the contract today. Answer any questions you all might have.
Council, any questions? Mrs. Bowen?
Not at this time.
No.
Thank you, Mayor.
Mr. Burke?
No,
No.
not this time.
Mr. Molina?
No, thank you.
Mr. Chris?
No, ma'am, thank you.
No? Okay.
Mayor, if I may, and with them here, to clarify some issues that you had asked about.
Yes.
First and foremost, you all are going to, kind of like what you provide to our municipal court, you all do our collections for our municipal court, you do our municipal court pools once a month, and you show us the activity on what accounts that you're working on. And in the contract, it does say that you're going to report that type of information to us. I'm assuming you're going to do it in the same fashion.
Correct.
All right. In regards to settlements, and settlements can be both judicial or non-judicial, but in those settlements is that you're not going to settle any case without, in certain circumstances, the authority of the city manager,
Correct.
and that in those situations where it's required to go to council, of council.
That is correct. We will not settle
Okay. And
with
then,
any other on the special. We will not do that.
and then lastly, in regards to any settlement that we have, because sometimes you guys work out payment arrangements with the delinquent tax holder,
Correct.
that any of those that, in those regards, you all will, and you all will expect us to be the receiver of our end of those, and this was a question that the mayor had, and it wasn't really clear, that our utilities department or our finance department will be the receiver of the funds that are negotiated to pay to us, or will you all collect those and then remit those to the city?
On the special assessment collections, delinquent tax collections are collected by the appraisal district, so payments are made there. So in this situation, the city would accept the payment. Our job is to get the taxpayer to you to work out payment plans.
Yes, sir.
And to get paid. We don't handle any money.
Gotcha.
We do that
Okay.
as least as possible.
Okay? That's all the questions that the mayor had.
I did have one,
Sure.
one, and I may have missed it earlier, but when these special assessments are assigned, when somebody's bidding on the property, let's say it's completely delinquent, now we're out for, we file, now it's
A
out for
lawsuit?
bid, right?
Uh-huh.
How are they treated? Because, right, you know what I mean, like do they just go away? Or if somebody bids on the property, let's say now the property's up for bid and somebody bids $2,000,
Okay.
right? And there's $15,000 owed for
Okay.
taxes and $1,500 owed for mowing.
Well,
I mean, you can answer it, or we can answer it because you've seen it in practice in city councils. What the tax authority does is they get permission from the different entities to settle the case, or settle it for a lower amount. If when they at the courthouse steps, if they bid for it, it does not meet the threshold of what's owed, then what they do is they take it off, and then they allow for, I guess, a sealed bid process where it's sent in, and then after that, then those are taken to the different taxing entities, and then you all vote on whether you're gonna accept it or not.
But I guess, do we get a little
Yes.
line item now
yes,
at the bottom
yes.
of?
Yes, sir. I mean to interrupt you, but yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I was
Okay.
gonna say, we were just talking about that today, because I do this in Kingsville, so what we do is, we have, everything's gonna, the petitions are gonna change, the wording's gonna change because there's different stipulations so that's in the weeds, that's weed stuff, so
Yeah.
we're gonna do all that. But to answer your question, yes, now you're gonna have City of Alice taxes, City of Alice special assessments to consider, so you'll get a portion of that offer, because what you're referring to are properties that are already struck off to the taxing units.
Yes.
And so, right now, what happens is, since we don't have the contract to collect those, they're still subject to the special assessment. So what we tell the taxpayer is, you need to go talk to the city and work out a payment plan, because they become your responsibility, okay? We have no authority to collect those. Once we get these in our judgment, then we're gonna be able to include it, and it'll be part of the opening bid, let's say $5,000, there'll be a portion for the city of Alice with special assessments, and of course, taxes, owed to the city. And then when we bring up those to you down the road, you'll see the line and the percentage of what the city will get for special assessments. So to answer your question, yes, that's long-winded, but that's basically it, yes.
How is that, how is that determined? Are they in the same position as all the ad valorem people? The
Well-
taxes? Does that mean if all the taxes, if we've got a $5,000, lien on there, and
Right.
The property's not getting that much, what is that line item gonna be? Because right now it's a ratio on what's owed, right?
Yes.
Based on the tax rate.
Based on the judgment, the percentage of the
Yeah.
judgment. Correct.
So, if it doesn't get, on the taxing entities, there's a time where they'll all have money there, but the special assessments will have zero if it doesn't have, if the taxes owed are more than, or let's just say it's equal. Taxes owed minus special assessments, $5,000. They pay $5,000.
What he's asking is will we get any money on our assessment if the money paid on the purchase of the property is less than the ad valorem taxes owed, and do we still get a portion of that
Yes.
to pay our assessments?
The way I've seen it work, yes.
Yes, it's
You'll get a
done.
portion. Because you're in the judgment. You're part of the judgment that's been taken for the property taxes and the special assessments. Right now, you're not, because you're not in our judgments. You're not in the judgment that's taken. We still subject to that, to the lien, if there is a lien on the property. And then that's the responsibility of the bidder to come to you.
Get this percentage.
Yeah.
Hope that makes sense. Yes.
It'd be a percentage of whatever the grand total is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I appreciate it. Any other questions, council? No?
Thank you
so
very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, council, at this time, I will entertain a motion on this agenda.
Did we
Oh,
never
we
opened
didn't
the public
open up.
hearing, yes.
I'm sorry. I forgot we didn't. Hey. Okay. I will at this time open our public hearing. It is 5:13 p.m. So anyone wishing to step forward and speak on behalf of this agenda item, please step forward to speak on this. Again, anyone wishing to speak on this agenda item is welcome to step forward and speak in reference to this agenda item. Okay. Seeing no one wishing to step forward in reference to this agenda item, I will close our public hearing. It is 5:15 p.m. Okay. Thank you. And council, I will entertain a motion on this agenda item.
Mayor, make a motion to accept, sign, and enter a contract with Leinbarger, Goggin, Blair, and Samson LLP for the collection of delinquent special assessment accounts, liens, and discuss, consider, and approve document titled Action Approving Contract with Leinbarger, Goggin, Blair, and Samson LLP.
Second.
Okay. We have a first and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. All those opposed, same sign. Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year.
Okay, so motion passes. Okay, we will move on to agenda item number 8, adjournment and/or consider and act upon adjournment. Thank y'all. Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Mayor, I make a motion to adjourn.
Oh,
please.
one,
Oh, sorry.
yes, sir.
Mayor, may I be out of order and ask you to open agenda item number 4 again?
Which one?
Number 4 in regards to public comments.
Oh, sure.
And
If council, you're
Yeah,
okay
I'm
with?
okay with that.
Sure.
Okay.
The reason why is that we forget, but today is Pearl Harbor Day, and it's the 80th
Oh,
anniversary of
wow.
Pearl Harbor, and that, my father, my uncles, my grandfather, my great-uncles, they were all in the military, and that whether you want to admit it or not, that generation saved the world, and were willing to risk their lives to save the world, and that our servicemen and women that have followed afterwards have had the character and desire to do the exact same thing, and that and during this time of giving, I would request that we give a little respect instead of ridicule, and that we remember truly what they've done for us in the past.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, yes, and we honor all our servicemen and all their sacrifices. Thank you, Mr. Lemon, for bringing that forward. Okay. I will go back to agenda item number 8, adjournment and/or consider act upon adjournment.
Mayor, I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, we have a first and a second. So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay, so meeting adjourned. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas, everyone, and a Happy New Year. Thank you.
See?